All right, so for today, our first video, we're gonna go over your morning routine. So with functional range conditioning, where we try to improve your range of motion to each joint, this is the most essential part, okay? So every day you're gonna do one exercise for each one of your main joints, okay? So we'll start from the neck, work to the shoulders, the rest of the spine, the hips, knees, elbows, wrists, ankles, and then go to the toes. So the first one is going to be our neck. So what we're going to do is make a fist, punch your hands down to the ground. I want every single movement to be nice, slow, and controlled. And the part of the body that we're not moving, I want you to focus on and make sure you're contracting that. Okay, so as we move through, nice and slow, the rest of our body is contracting. So for the neck, make a fist, punch down to the ground. Really drive your shoulders down. From here, we're going to slowly bring our chin down to our chest. Pick a side, and we're going to trace our chin along our collarbone. Once we've gone as far as we can, we're going to drop our ear to that shoulder without moving either one of our shoulders. And then we're going to look up and around to drop the ear to the other shoulder. Once again, trying to limit any shoulder movement, just focusing on moving the neck. From there, chin goes to the shoulder, traces the collarbone, comes back to the middle, slowly roll and stack it back up. Now we have to go the other direction. Chin comes down, traces the collarbone, drop the ear to that shoulder, look up and around, ear to the opposite shoulder, chin to collarbone, trace the collarbone back around, and then stack it back up. Okay, so that's the neck. Okay, we go both directions. Next, we're going to do the shoulder blades or scapula. So from here, I want your hands pressed into your legs as hard as you can. Arms are straight. Okay, we're going to press our shoulders forward. Bring them up, around. Pinch the shoulder blades. Push your shoulder blades down into your pockets and bring them back forward. Okay, so we're making a big circle there. From the back, okay, we're going to drive our shoulder blades forward, keeping our hands pressed into our legs. Okay, going this time reverse, going up, pushing the hands into the legs, pinching the shoulders, keeping the arms as straight as you can, coming down and around to the front. Okay, so making sure you go both directions. Shoulder. Okay, we'll do one at a time for the shoulder. Palm is going to be facing up. Other hand is going to be pressed into your abdominal area. You can push it down into your side as well, but we're contracting everything else. Squeeze your abs, squeeze your glutes. The hand's going to come across your body, nice and slow, like you're moving through mud. Once you get as high as you can with your palm facing up, that palm starts to rotate inward towards your ear, okay? This is full extension. From here, or excuse me, full flexion. From here, we're going to rotate the palm away, trying not to move our body, making sure that it's just the shoulder girdle working. Bringing it back down and around. And reverse. Lift that as high as you can. Rotate the hand without rotating your body, reaching up overhead, and then we bring that arm across our body and it comes back down. Okay, other side, same thing. Palm faces up. Bring it across, nice and slow. Once we run out of range there, the hand starts to shift facing towards the ear. Once I get as high as I can, without extending, as high as I can with the shoulder girdle, then we're going to rotate the hand, reach behind us as far as we can without rotating our body. Be honest with yourself. We're working just that shoulder joint. Coming back and down, extending back as far as we can. Once we get as far and as high as we can, we start to rotate to give our shoulder more room As the hand goes facing the ear, the arm comes across the body and then comes back down. Okay. Next, the elbows. We're going to start elbows pinned to the body, palms facing up. Okay. From here, we flex like we're flexing our biceps, trying not to do too much movement with the fingers. We're going to come over the top. Let's pretend that there is a barrier right here, and you have to go over the top, press back down, and then reverse. Come back up, rotate over the top, and bring it back down. Super easy and straightforward for the elbows. Wrists, okay? You can either do one, or you can do them both together. For the sake of time, we're going to do both together, okay? From here, we're going to have our fingers or wrists come fold inwards. We're going to make a big circle, bringing our palms towards our forearms, and then out and around, making sure we go out towards our thumbs with the wrist, and then trace it down and around back to where we started. And then we'll reverse. Bring those hands in towards the pinkies, go down and around to the outside, going out towards your thumbs, up and around. Okay, so we did shoulders, scapula, elbows, wrists, neck. Now we're going to do the spine, the rest of the spine. So for this one, it's extremely important to make sure that your legs and hips don't move, okay? Hands come across here. Tuck the chin the entire time. So from here, we're going to roll down segment by segment in the spine. So you go as far as you can without moving your hips. Then, from there, we're going to pick a side, rotate towards that side. We're going to side bend or side crunch to that same side, coming up, back, and around with minimal movement in the hips. Side bend to the opposite side. Side crunch, rounding over and down, and then back to the middle, and then rounding back up. Other side, roll down, one vertebrae at a time. From here, rotate to the other side. Side crunch, trying not to move the hips. Back and around to the other side. Crunch to the side. Roll back to the middle, and then stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Awesome. So that's the spine. Next, we'll go to the hip, the knee, the patella, and then the ankle, and then the toes. Okay. So we'll start with the left hip. So from here, squeeze a fist. Push it out in front of you. We're trying to contract the upper body and also contract the leg that is down on the ground. The leg that's going to be moving, or the hip that's going to be moving, is the leg that is up in the air. So from here, contract, squeeze, bring the ankle across. Slowly lift up while trying to keep the ankle as high as you can. From here, bring the foot underneath the knee and lift it up even higher. Now, slowly bring it out to the side without rotating the hips. Out to the side. Now, we're going to internally rotate, bringing the ankle up as high as we can. Back out and around to meet the knee. And reverse. Lift up to the side. Slowly start to rotate. Bring that knee up a little higher. Bring it up in front of you. Now rotate, bringing that ankle as high as you can across the body, and slowly bring it down. Other side. I'll show from a different direction. This way. So from here, coming across, lifting that knee up, bringing the ankle underneath the knee as high as you can. Now out to the side. Rotate, bringing that ankle as high as you can, out and around with minimal movement in the rest of the body. lifting that knee up to the side and ankle. Now rotating, bring that knee up as high as you can out to the side. Knee up in front, ankle across, and slowly bring that down. Okay? So that's the hip. The knee. Back on one leg. So for the knee, we're not going to extend all the way out because what we're trying to do is get a little bit of rotation in the tibia. If you lock the leg out, the tibia can't rotate. Okay? So we're going to start with the knee bent and our foot rotated out. Okay, we're going to keep the foot rotated out, extend, keeping a slight bend in the knee, rotate that foot in, bringing the heel back as far as we can. Now from here, we're going to kick back out, keeping that foot rotated in, rotate out, and bring it back in. Other side, different angle, okay? Knee is going to be bent, foot rotated out. Slowly kick that leg somewhat straight, slight bend still, rotate in. Pull that heel to your butt as far as you can. Now reverse. Kick back out, rotate that foot out, bring it back in. Okay. The patella. So the patella needs to move. It's a bone that's sitting in connective tissue. So we're going to lock this leg out, and we're just going to draw a circle around the patella, making sure it moves in all angles, okay? 360 degrees. So now to the other leg. Same thing, drawing a circle around the patella, making sure it moves in each direction, and then you can go both directions if you'd like. Okay? Now to the ankle. So, keeping this leg stable, keeping the rest of the leg from moving, we're just going to move the ankle joint. So point your toes away from you. You're going to rotate it in, drawing a circle going up and around to back to where you start, and then reverse, nice and slow. The one thing with the ankle is that you will find that your foot is going to want to jump to different spots. Try to avoid that as best as you can and make it a slow, controlled movement, hitting all corners and angles. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Rotating out and around, up and down, and trying not to move your toes. My toes tend to move quite a bit when I'm doing this, but in a perfect world, you would get the rotation and the movement, the circle movement, without your toes leading where to go. Okay? The final part is my favorite part. So is just movement of the toes. Okay? So first we're going to start. Okay? Once again, contract everything else in the rest of the body. Feet firmly placed on the ground. You're going to lift all toes up. Okay? From there, we're going to press all toes on the ground. Okay? After that, we're going to keep your toes glued to the ground and lift your big toe by itself. So toes on the ground, big toe up. This can be pretty challenging and frustrating for people that may not have the control. Big toe comes back down. Now, if that was challenging, this is going to be extremely challenging for you. Big toe on the ground and lift the other toes up. And then bring it back down. Okay? Now, the last one, which is the most challenging of all of them, we're going to lift all toes up. I can only do this on my right foot, not on my left. We're going to go pinky, and then the rest of the toes down one by one to get to your big toe. And then you're going to reverse that. Big toe comes up, and then slowly bring the other toes off one by one, and then place them back down. So this is your morning routine. This is something that you can do every single day to make sure you maintain the flexibility and range of motion that you currently have. Okay, if you feel that through any part of any of these movements, you're like, man, I get really kind of stuck there. I'm having issues with this one spot. Well, the fix to that would be spend time in that spot, stretch in that spot, and then do one of your controlled articulations with whatever joint it is.